had to go. I had to do it again.
Alright, man. I'm not sure what's going on here tonight, alright?
Alright, man. I just want to meet my son.
I can't promise you we're gonna get your son back, bro. I can't promise anything.
Alright.
You're supposed to meet this guy and this and that, and I don't know.
He's gone, man. I was hysterical, man. Called the cops. Did what I was supposed to. For some reason, it wasn't working. Cops were on a, goose chase. Come up with nothing. Then all of a sudden, this guy by the name of John Simon called me. Never forget that day, man. He called me and he said, "Hi, this is John Simon." And I thought it was like a prank or something. He said, I have an idea where your son is. There's this underworld taking kids and selling them. And I was like, what? Nah. I thought it was, some prank, like I said. And I went out and with this guy. Met him, went out, and we went to this transaction.
There he is. You got your gun ready? There he is. There he is. Okay, everybody just sit tight. Everybody sit tight. Sit tight.
That's him! That's him, man!
Sit your ass down. Sit your ass down. Jerry, get a hold of yourself. Just sit there.
It's him!
Sit there. Just sit there.
Just sit tight, man. They know what they're doing.
Where's my money?
Most of the time.
Here's the package. Joey! Yeah, man. Here's the package. Where's my money?
Alright. There you go. No. Get back. Get him back.
Joey, what are you doing?
Come on.
Come on, guys.
Come on, guys.
What are you doing? Johnny!
Get him back. Come on. Take him.
Hey, what are you doing?
You're gingerbread man, dude.
Oh!
Let's go.
Get him! Hard, man. John! Get it! Law. I believe in law, but what's law nowadays? I mean, there's no justice in it. Our justice system stinks. I think it was great, but he did. How about it?
So Eric, why don't you tell us what you're doing there today on the computer?
This is a conglomeration of documentation that we've filmed over the past 7 years.
This is our videomentary of what we thought the American people needed to know what was going on, and I'm just going to start it from the beginning.
This sad.
Dancing, babe.
What's happening, woman?
It's videotape.
How's the baby?
It's getting bigger and bigger. Babe,
Almost
get
due.
rid of that hat and get rid of that beer in front
We're
of
7.5 months pregnant, as you can tell.
memories. No, it don't, because it just hurts right now. Just go away.
You're still beautiful, babe. Come on, baby. Is it okay if Dan stays for a few days?
No, it's not.
Come on.
Why?
Let's have some fun. Before you guys have to be really responsible.
Well, I'm really responsible right
She
now.
can't drink, dude, you know. She can at least hang out with us when we drink.
Yeah, okay. That'll be the day.
I mean, you couldn't ask for a better person to work with or a better teacher. He was the kind of teacher that you'd want your kid to be with. There's no doubt about it. He could get down on the level of the children. You know, a lot of teachers, they don't really want to, you know, for instance, at recess, they wouldn't want to, they'd kind of stand in a group and talk, whereas John would always be out there playing with the kids. He was one of them. They could relate to him. He was really dedicated. Everything was new. Every day was new to him. It wasn't the same old with John. He really treated his kids with respect and got it in return. He was a real family man. He didn't really socialize that much.
As you can see, she's very beautiful. Hon, babe, say hello.
John, my cousin John, lost his wife in a car accident that happened to be his fault.
When Liz and John were in the car crash and Liz died, I thought John was never going to pull out of it. He didn't want to go back to work. He didn't even talk to Emily at first. He was just so withdrawn into himself. And then he began to realize that he had to become both a father and a mother to Emily. And he did his best. He really did.
You're really strong, honey.
And in the midst of that, 6 months, 7 months later, him and his daughter were in the grocery store, you know.
And Emily wanted to go get the cheese like she always did because she knew where the cheese was, and cheese was one of her favorite foods.
John's daughter was abducted.
The FBI was on the search. We were putting posters up on the telephone poles, and we had the things with the milk cartons, and we were doing everything that we possibly could to get her back. And about 6 months after she was abducted, the FBI got back to John and said they had found her in a shallow grave. They found fragments of bone, hair. They did DNA testing, dental records, and
You name it, they had the proof.
they had everything, and she was dead. As she was, you know, just bits and pieces. John didn't want to see that shit, you know what I mean? That's the last thing that he wanted to see. But they said that she was dead, and then he went even further down. I mean, just like borderline, I would say, insanity, man. He was just lost.
He was completely depressed. He
totally couldn't get out of bed. When he did, he was just drunk all the time.
His pain was the most unbearable thing that I ever saw in my life.
What happened next had nothing to do with John's daughter being abducted.
One day I'm on the internet checking out the missing child's page, and I come across this girl who happened to live a couple counties away from where we lived at the time. It was totally unrelated to John's case. So the cops had picked this cat up. You know, I'm sure they interrogated him, they took him in, they held him, and maybe they beat his ass a little bit, but they didn't get any information out of him. No kid, no crime, so they had to let him go. John's daughter's not here, and I know I really can't bring her back, but maybe I could help to uplift him, and we could, you know, do something to help get this girl back.
The house is right in the center of this property here. It's about half a mile in. All right. So I'll see you guys in a few.
All right. John's gonna go grab the suspect and pull him out of his house and pull him at gunpoint and figure out what he did with the 14-year-old girl.